Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite white colonizer coming to you live from the United States of America. I am Tall the Traveling Clad. Head to thetravelingclad.com to get your white colonizer merch right now to support the channel. And let's get right into this incredible video by an Israeli activist named Dani.
The video here is everything you need to know about the Middle East. In case you missed, for the first time ever, Iran launched hundreds of missiles and drones at Israel. Here you can see interceptions taking place right above the Dome of the Rock, at the center of Al-Aqsa Mosque on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. Are you with me? Here you can see Israel.
The point that we're supposed to be liberating with the Al-Aqsa, don't flood. Don't forget that this is the place the evil Zionists have oppressed for so long and keep saying they're going to dig up and destroy, but we'll fire intercontinental ballistic missiles right at it in hopes to liberate it.
Well, a Jewish state intercepting missiles fired from Iran, a Muslim state, towards the oldest surviving work of Islamic architecture, one of the holiest sites to Muslim. One more time for Berkeley students. Iran, Muslim, attack Al-Aqsa, Muslim. Israel, Jewish, protect Al-Aqsa, Muslim. In total, Iran launched 331 missiles and drones toward Israel last night, and the number of casualties is 0. The only one injured is a 7-year-old Muslim girl who was hit from debris in the south of Israel. Not a single missile reached its target thanks to defensive collaboration between Israel and the US, Britain, France, and Jordan. One more time for Berkeley students. Jews, Christians, and Muslims work together to fight a common enemy. Because unlike what you hear on TikTok, this is not a conflict between Israelis and Palestinians. This is not a conflict between Jews and Muslims. This is a war between jihadists and everyone else. This is a war between those who promote liberal values and fundamentalist authoritarian regimes who promote terror. Their capital is Iran, but their proxies are Hamas, ISIS, Hezbollah, and the whole gang. So when Jackson Hinkle, Russian #1 propagandist Jackson Hinkle, proudly tweets, using all caps of course, that he stands with Iran, that means he doesn't stand with Muslims. Of course, he doesn't stand with Jews or Christians. He doesn't stand with liberal values, and he doesn't stand with peace. He only stands with terror and jihad. So Jackson, if you stand with Iran, why don't you go stand in Iran? We'll pay for the flight. And no, you won't be needing a return ticket.
Well, Danny, let me tell you something. A lot has changed since you made this video. Jackson Hinkle, I don't know if he's been to Iran, but he definitely was in Hezbollah and he went to the Houthis in Yemen. I do think that he's kind of officially banned from America now. I'm not sure if he can really come back. I mean, I guess on paper he probably can come back, but I think Department of Homeland Security is probably going to have it out for him now. Like, I don't know if it makes sense for Hinkle to come back. He's grifted, I think, a little. This is like a Twitter grift that has gone too far. I don't know. It's an odd scenario. I don't really understand the interest in basically like forfeiting your American citizenship. I mean, Russia and China must be paying good, like real good, for him to just grift out of your citizenship. Again, I'm not saying that he actually grifted out of his citizenship, but he's one step away from being what is it, a traitor to the nation? What's the word? Please let me know in the comments below. I'm forgetting the name. When you like betray your own nation. Not a traitor. It's not a saboteur either. It's like somebody who betrays your country. I don't know. I'm forgetting the name. But yes, I mean, Danny is absolutely correct in this. While I don't agree with representing Israel as this like beacon of liberal values, it is, but I don't agree with like kind of representing us as that, just because we are trying to get the respect of our neighbors, which unfortunately all our neighbors are authoritarian bigots everywhere you go, from east to west to north to south, and they're all oppressing their own populations, including the people who are more liberal-minded, like the Jews and the Christians, and even Muslims who are liberal-minded in these different countries. But I don't think that representing ourselves as this liberal beacon in the Middle East is ever a good look for us, so I refuse to do it. There's plenty of other Israel advocates that are out there just saying that we're the LGBTQ capital of the Middle East and the vegan capital of the Middle East, and we love everybody and democracy and this and that. I was like, I don't disagree with it. There's enough other Jews, other Israel advocates doing it. I personally like to represent us as a strong, brown and black, diverse nation that's going to fuck your ass up if you keep fucking with us. That's my MO. And I was taught this by my Arab friends, not by anybody else. I assure you none of the Jews had an influence on me with that direction. It was all Arabs who influenced me in this specific regard, and I really appreciate / respect that rhetoric, because I think it's the best possible rhetoric we could have had. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I again I appreciate it, but to get back to the main point of what he's talking about here, he's talking about the irony of the Jews protecting Al-Aqsa Mosque in spite of them launching ballistic missiles. I always think, what if that night we just didn't protect the Al-Aqsa Mosque? What would happen? I mean, I'm happy that we do it, obviously, because also there's Jews and Muslims and Christians all living there. So if a ballistic missile accidentally falls on Al-Aqsa Mosque, one, it's going to destroy the mosque. It's going to be a big mess, but also a lot of people would have died. A lot of people would have died. And God bless, we protected everyone that night. I was there in Israel that night. I remember watching the drones and the missiles from my cousin's balcony just fucking exploding all over the West Bank, which also doesn't make any sense. Like, you're trying to liberate Jerusalem, so you fired hundreds of ballistic missiles over Jerusalem in hopes of what? Like, what was the goal? Oh, well, the goal was to injure a 7-year-old Bedouin girl who had to lie in the hospital for 6 months. And I think she was comatose for some of it. She woke up and made a recovery since then. But, you know, that's what Iran does. Just attacks fellow Muslims. That's great. And the second time they launched this attack, they killed a fucking Gazan man who was hiding in the West Bank, in Jericho. He was hiding in Judea and Samaria because he had fled Gaza. He was illegally in the West Bank. He fled Gaza, and he got killed by a fucking rocket falling from the sky. He got smashed like a bug. It's a horrific video. We all saw it. I was there during the second Iranian attack as well. I live streamed the whole thing if you want to look back on my channel. It was fucking psychotic. But that's the irony of the Muslim world. Allah, Muhammad, we are strong. We will liberate you, this and that. But if we have to kill like 15 million of our own, it's okay because, you know, it's like the mental gymnastics the Muslim world goes through for defense of Islam, defense of Muslim holy sites, is literally nothing short of psychotic. It is psycho behavior. It doesn't make any sense. And try to rationalize it with even the most moderate Muslim. And I'm not going to say all Muslims, because there's a lot of Muslims who are really great people. I will continuously defend that always. I'm never talking about all Muslims and all Arabs, because there's many that I love. But a vast majority, I can make that generalization. And try to talk to even the most moderate. The mental gymnastics they will go through to defend this shitty behavior in the Middle East in the name of Islam, because they're Muslim brothers who don't give a fuck about each other. And they would kill each other, and they happily do. It's insane. Like, they're doing loops and flips and backflips and double somersaults, and they just anything but deal with the actual shortcomings of your behavior. Anything but acknowledge that you fucked up. Anything but acknowledging that you really exhibit terrible behavior on a regular basis. Anything but that. God damn it. Well, that's what we're here for. That's why we're colonizing YouTube, and that's why we have more Lebanese women specifically sending me messages every day praising me for actually speaking up for these countries, actually speaking up and calling out this bad behavior. I mean, I'm becoming a celebrity in Lebanon at this point, I'm convinced. There's so many insanely amazing Lebanese followers who keep sending messages in secrecy because they can't talk about it openly, but I appreciate you guys in Lebanon, and I see you. And you guys always send me the most lovely messages saying how much you appreciate me standing up for your country and calling out the shitty behavior of your countrymen and your countrywomen and your country's rhetoric. And I get messages like this from Egypt and from Saudi Arabia and from Iran and from Lebanon and from Iraq. A lot of Iraqis as well, because I am Iraqi, so I guess they gravitate towards me. We got to stick together, folks. We got to stick together, fam. Fuck this Muslim world bullshit, this Arab world bullshit. We got to clean this shit out. We got to help you guys get back to who you are. You know, I'm lucky to have been born, like, God bless, I'm lucky to have been born in a Jewish society, in a Jewish world, where I was able to hold my identity from the Middle East and hold my identity of Judaism and have them merge together and give me individuality. I don't think like a zombie. I have my own individual thoughts. But a vast majority of you just think like, you're just stuck. And I want to help all of you. And we're going to help all of you. Papa Tal Abu Baklawa is here to help. I know that my help may sound a little rude sometimes, and it rubs you the long way. But as a Lebanese viewer once told me, I asked her, I believe she was Lebanese. Was she Lebanese? And now I'm having a hard time remembering if she was Lebanese or not. No, it wasn't Lebanese. She was Syrian. As a Syrian viewer once told me, I asked her, what is it about me? Like, why do you watch me? She told me that at first when I watched your videos, it really pissed me off. Like, I got very angry. I was very pissed off at what you were saying. Cause you say a lot of stuff that just like it's inflammatory and it's rude, and I acknowledge it's rude. And you speak in a very aggressive tone and you curse a lot. So I got really angry and I closed off the video. But then I couldn't stop watching you because you were speaking the truth. Because what you were saying was true. You were calling me out in a way that nobody's called me out before. In a way you were making me deal with truths I haven't had to deal with yet. And that's the MO of all of this. Why I get up here and do this every day. Because I know it's tough and I'm getting death threats and my life has changed significantly on what I can and can't do and where I can and can't go. And that sucks for somebody who is traveling around the world. Because I don't want to be limited on where I can go, and I don't want to have to think 15 steps ahead of what I do all the time. My life has changed. I've sacrificed a lot for this. But I can see the actual impact happening. And the goal is to change the world. We're here. You see that symbol right there? For me, that stands up. That means tikkun olam. That means changing the world. That means making the world a better place. And I know that with all the bullshit, this channel is doing that. That's what we're here for. Long-ass tangent I just went up. If you want to watch me tangent like this, we could probably do it on a live stream. White Colonizer merch. Get it in the description below. It helped me change the world. TheTravelingClad.com. Represent. Be a proud white colonizer just like your boy. And we'll see you in the next one. I love you long time. Goodbye, Clats. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.